Hi everybody, it's Mike with AECInspire. We have a new big release for you guys, version 2.8. This release has a lot of great features, and the biggest one being a new UI. So we've been listening to everybody, and we have a lot of great improvements that we made to the UI. A lot of really cool tools we also included. So before we dive in, as always, double check the bottom left hand side of your screen, make sure you're running version 2.8. It should open up automatically when you open Inspire, but sometimes you do have to hit that Control-Shift-R. So, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's dive into that project and check out the new UI and upload experience. So, jumping into your project, when you first create it, you'll actually be prompted to create a folder if there's not already one made. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the new upload process. There are a few changes I'll go over a little bit later, but just this new upload process and the initial parts of the dashboard I wanted to cover with this section. Go ahead and select the electrical trade. We'll say create folder, and it's going to ask us to upload a file right away. And as many of you have asked for, it's a drag and drop scenario now. So you can simply click and drag your files and drop those right onto your projects. And dropping those on there already kicks off the upload process. So we see the upload really happened fast. Now we can jump in. It's generating that sheet preview like it did before. And this is going to be our new sheet naming and numbering sequence. So once the sheets get loaded, we'll have some boxes to drag over the sheet title and the sheet number. And this is a version that looks familiar, but this time you can pan around the drawing to move it where you need to. So we see we have two different boxes, the sheet number, which we're going to drag over the sheet number, and the sheet name. So with a little bit of manipulation, all you do is grab the area where you want the sheet number and the sheet title to be. And we'll actually just be able to grab these numbers right from here during the upload process. And you just say generate sheet name and number. And both of those fields get filled in for you on all the sheets during this process, so that upload process is substantially faster than before. I think everyone's really going to enjoy this. We'll complete the upload process, and now our file window stays open on our left-hand side. So you can jump right into a sheet and get working. And in the next section, let's check out some of the new UI. Picking up from the new upload process, your new file management on the left-hand side has a little bit more to it. You'll notice that file management up at the top, the screen looks a little bit different than we had previously. You can actually access your files and your folders and all of your drawings right from here as well. So the Sheets drop-down allows you to see a preview of each of the sheets along with the names and also the versions. A big addition we also included with this is the fact that you can update or delete individual sheets out of your project as well. So this just makes it a little bit easier to manage those sheets and the versions you're working in. You can also upload new documents to this as well. It's a lot of great additions to the file management tab. And closing out of our folder, you'll notice up at the top we actually have your file path. So you can navigate right to the dashboard, you can go right to other projects, or even navigate to different folders right from here, but we let you keep track of where you're at in your projects. And kind of going around the circle, now we have the General Files tab, we have the same scope box. A lot of this stuff is going to look the same, we just reorganized a lot of it, make it a little bit more easy to work with. So your distance tool, your table tool, and your text are now on the left-hand side. It's a little bit easier access. So we did clean up the bottom toolbar for you, so it's a little bit more screen friendly, takes up a little bit less real estate, and it's more concise. And the bottom we have the same select or pan. Also navigate between those sheets, and your general scale tool is as well. And we have those same hide assembly, place assembly, hide background, and we have a new transparency feature I'll be going over as well, and the resize tool. And up on the right hand side we have your undo, a new color by parameters we'll go over in a little bit, as well as your general properties, just like before. We also have a new screenshot tool, and your print function is right on the right hand side as well, and your settings. So the UI is a little bit more user friendly. The updates, again, came from feedback from you guys, so a lot of this great stuff is feedback you have and stuff we've been analyzing. Another great portion of this release is some of the workflow improvements we've had overall. So inspired search is one of those. Inspired search is going to look and feel similar, but we did add some cool features. So if you notice your inspired search preview window, we now have a new category called previously cropped symbols. This is going to help you keep track of items that you've searched already, so that you can either reference, bring back into search, or actually just keep an eye on what you've done so you don't retake a certain image or retake a certain symbol. This is going to help you stay a little more organized as you're searching light fixtures, as you're searching power symbols or notes. Keeping track of what you're doing is always super important. Another big piece of this release is including naming up front. And what I mean by that is once you select your symbol and the preview pops up, it actually gives you the opportunity to name the symbol instead of doing it later on in the process. So as we're going through and searching these, filling in this name is actually going to allow you to not have to do that later on, as I mentioned. But if you ever have to hit the back button, this is something that's going to retain those names. So those multiple sheets, go ahead and search. And now once we get into this screen with the multiple sheets, you see that the name is already filled in. So we're saving a little bit of time that you're not having to fill these in manually, do the filtering, and go through to ensure that you're doing that up front at an easy point in the stage. This is a major update to Inspired Search. And we also did make an update to Inspired Search to help with accuracy as well, so you guys should see some improvement with those results on top of that.